Good evening to you, people watching us from Japan and Asia. Good day to you, people from Europe. And good morning, Americas! Today, in our studio in Moscow, myself, staff geek of Kaspersky, and Sophia, our influencer. Say something.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
So we will be talking about the future of work. Finally, well, for some countries not yet, but we are moving closer to the end of this pandemic situation. And while we are getting closer to the time when we'll be working in the new normal, we are going to showcase you our representation of this video, of this future in the form of interactive video. I would like to ask my video editor to show you this landing page. It's kas.pr/oyf. I will copy this link into chat. You will see it very, very frequently during this live stream. And we will be delivering special prizes for those of you who would like to spend your time, this time that you have free because you don't have to commute to work, to improve yourself. We will be giving away masterclass licenses. We will be giving away 20 licenses for those of you who will be answering the questions. And the rules are very simple. When I announce the question, you will hear a sound like this. I will name the question, and the first 4 people who say correctly the answer, they will receive the masterclass license. Everything will be kept out in chat. Please, nice and clean, be respectful, be nice to everyone. And let's take a sneak peek at the landing page. Sophia, so what was your favorite morning routine? Do you do workout or else?
Yeah, I really like to do a workout. I'm going to gym regularly.
So let's take a look what happens if you wake up and take a workout.
Good morning! You have been working flexibly for 924 days. It is 7:31 a.m. The weather today is mostly sunny and warm, with the chance of rain showers. Let's get this day started. What's first?
To play, so you get the idea of how this
Sure thing.
landing page looks like.
Thank you for joining me for Sunrise Chakras. Haven't seen some of you in a while.
I think that's enough.
Okay, that's okay.
So everybody in our live
Let's
stream,
start by getting into
take your own
soaring
experience,
eagle pose.
try yourself in this interactive video adventure. And before I announce the first question, we are going to connect to...
Yeah, we are going to connect with a very special country of the rising sun. And we are switching to the Japan, Tokyo. Please welcome Yuko.
Hi. Greetings from Tokyo, Japan. Recently, I had a discussion with my colleagues in Japan office online. We all agreed that unattended services would become more popular and more standard in the near future, such as self-checkout at supermarkets. After COVID-19, more people working from home was a minor way of working here. Some find it convenient and comfortable, like myself, as commuting to the office is a long and stressful way to go. But others strongly prefer working at the office. Like one of my colleagues, he said he's stressed out being stuck into his house. Traditionally, Japanese people prefer face-to-face communication, so demand for working at the office will never be gone. I see a solution here. I have been longing for a magic item called Dokodemo Door. In English, anywhere door. Through this door, you can go anywhere instantly. This is an item from a Japanese anime titled Doraemon. Doraemon is a robot in the 21st century. He visits the 20th century to see his master's ancestor named Nobita, to make Nobita's life better with magical gadgets from the 21st century. As we are now already in the 21st century, we have a high chance to have this fantastic gadget in 80 years.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Moscow to our studio. And I remind you that today we're giving away masterclass licenses so that you, the viewers of our channel, will be able to spend this extra time which you have without the need for commuting and etc. to improve yourself and become better at what you do. And the first question I'm going to announce is, what number of people, according to our research, would actually prefer working nude? I'm going to type it in chat, repeating again. What number of people, according to our research, would prefer working nude? Sophia, about yourself, how do you prefer working? Do you dress up?
I prefer to dress up because it's normally warmer in clothes.
You don't like to be cold?
Yeah.
Okay. And our next guest in this studio?
Yeah, and our next guest is from amazing Singapore. Please meet Ksenia.
Hello from Singapore. My name is Ksenia, and for the last few months I've been living in Singapore, probably the most futuristic and technological city in the world. I had a chat with my colleagues about how do they think future of work will look like here, and I'm going to share some insights with you. So first thing first, will we ever return to the full-time office job? The answer here is probably no, because everyone's mindset was changed significantly. People got used to working remotely, they started to value the flexibility given by working from home, and it's not likely that they will want to come back to office life. So the companies will have to keep it in mind and try to be attractive for applicants, because it's really important for them on such high competitive market. Also, employers found out that remote working is not actually a bad thing for efficiency and good results, business results, I mean. So this is another reason for them to follow this trend. Another question, what if you do not want to work from home? What if you want to be surrounded by people? And the answer is places called co-workings. They became quite popular here, and even some big companies make their offices look. There are a lot of coffee tables, soft chairs, plenty of greens, and you can just come there anytime you want, find a nice place for you and start working. Employees do not have their own individual desks in such type of working areas, and it helps companies to save some money. Another thing that can be relevant in the nearest future is how companies benefit their employees. So right now in most companies you have a limited number of benefits. For example, it can be health insurance, paid mobile connection, and corporate taxi. In future, there will be much more benefits for employees, and each of them use, for example, 3 the most relevant for him or for her. Imagine it's like an online store, but instead of money, number of points that you can exchange for some benefits you love the most. For example, you can ask for paid vacation, or for a company to buy you tickets somewhere, or for health insurance again, or maybe something completely different, but very important for you personally. I think this is really great future if it's going to be true for every company. I want to discuss with you technologies here in the city because it stressed me. When I first came down to the subway, I realized that there is no drivers in subway trains. So they just go and make stops by themselves. So a lot of jobs became irrelevant in Singapore, at least for people, because technologies can just simply do it better. Yeah, it looks really futuristic. So that's it from my side. Thank you for your attention and see you in future.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to our studio in Moscow. And thank you all for answering in chat while we were watching our wonderful colleague Ksenia from Singapore and her opinion about the future of work. You are all wrong, except, well, Alberto Sanchez was nearly right. So he's the only one who guessed it more or less correctly. But come on, people, you don't have to guess. Just visit the webpage, play the interactive adventure, and you will be able to see it for yourself. Okay, I get it that it was probably a hard question. I'm going to ask another one, but before I'm going to ask the question, I'm going to ask our Sophia. Does the weather matter for your work attitude? Do you get gloomy or like happier when the weather is good or bad?
Yeah, of course it's matter. I prefer sunny weather.
Sunny weather?
Yeah.
So you work better when it is sunny?
Yeah, I have better mood. So,
better mood?
Yeah.
More productive?
More productive, more energy, more just I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our second question for the masterclass giveaway, I remind you that the first 4 people who answer it right, and we will mention them later while reading through chat comments, will receive the masterclass license for 1 year subscription, and they will be able to improve themselves. The second question is, what was the weather forecast when our hero was pressed with the need to go to the conference, to the conference call? I'll type it into the chat, and we have another guest.
Yeah, and it's time to move to Dubai. Please welcome Ahmed.
Hello, everybody. This is Ahmed from Dubai, and coming to you from sunny spring-like weather. And can you hear me now?
Someone is playing our interactive webpage at the moment. Yes, we can hear you. Go on, you're live.
Sorry, something is wrong with my connection. In my point of view, and speaking about the near future, I think the pandemic recently kind of showed us like a sneak peek of how things are going to be in Dubai and in GCC countries when it comes to how the work environment is going to change, especially when it comes to working remotely, just like what Ksenia said. Most employers, they don't really see any point in like paying rent and all that for their employees to work from the office rather than working from home. And I think this is mainly where it's going to be at. Everyone just be able to work remotely, constantly moving. You're not going to be tied to a certain location. You can work in a certain country and be on the travel at most of the time. So this is one of the things that we started to actually feel. Another thing is one of the UEE 2050 vision, which is pretty much reaching Mars. And actually, the UEE kind of reached the first step, which was pretty much sending the first satellite into Mars. And the end goal of this is to actually have settlements on Mars. This is also one of the main goals that the UAE has, and also mainly depending on sustainable and renewable energy sources. So as we know, most of the GCC countries, they depend mostly on petrol and gas and whatnot. But through using solar power and other renewable sources of energy, the GCC countries, they want to completely depend on renewable energy sources. When it comes to how the country and the city is going to look like, there is lots of different predictions. For example, one of them is floating architecture. One of them is using magnetic field, pyromagnetic fields to generate floating buildings and whatnot, and also using different vertical seawater farms in Dubai, for example, since we don't have a lot, let's say, space, because UAE is not like a huge country in terms of how big it is geographically. That's why I think vertical architecture is going to come in and play a huge role in the shaping of the future of the UAE. So that's pretty much my prediction for all this.
What about yourself? Do you think you will be working more flexibly, more remotely, or more in the office?
Honestly, yeah, I think the way to be here is, yeah, everyone is gonna be working more flexibly. Everyone is gonna just ditch these old ideas of you have to work from like 9 to 6, because it's not really what the future is about. It's more about results, not really just putting the hours in, and that's it. It's just if you know how to do this, that's all what it matters. It doesn't really matter if you have like a certain degree, or if you have a certain look that you have, like in the old days where you could just like get a job with simply a suit and like a degree from uni. You know, it's not the case anymore.
Ahmed, do you think it will be like in Zootopia?
In terms of the bunnies, or in terms of what exactly? Just animals in general?
Animals in general.
I honestly wish, because animals are more entertaining than human beings in lots of different ways. Human beings, they have the same physical capabilities, which is kind of like predictable. Let's say if you have different animals, different species living, cohabitating together, coexisting together, it would be great, honestly. But at the same time, there would be a lot of there's a lot of like obstacles to mainly get over, you know, because it's not only the issue of coexisting in peace, but also it's just more reasons for us to divide.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. Enjoy your
Thank you,
evening
guys.
in Dubai. By the way, what
I
time
will
is
go
Dubai?
back to the future.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I think we should award a prize for that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Switching back to studio. I see that there is a couple of questions in chat. Yes, today we are talking about the future of work, the future of our life in general, how our work will be related to our life. Will we have more time to improve ourselves? And for those of you who would like to improve yourself and build a better version of yourself, we are giving away masterclass licenses, 1-year subscriptions. We're still in the question, what was the weather forecast when our hero in the interactive adventure we are discussing today was going for his conference call? And we have another special guest in our studio.
Yes, very special guest from Russia, and we are teleportating to Zoe.
Zoe, you're live.
Hi, Zoe.
Thank you for having me here. I'm Zoya. I'm, as you know, from Russia.
Go on. Tell us a few words
so-
about the future work as you see it.
Yeah, actually, you've told something about becoming a best version of yourself. So my thoughts about this topic were pretty much closer to it. I was thinking that staying at home and having a remote work, it was for me like a higher level of self-awareness, because everyday life, everyday routine in previous life was like I'm standing up, not thinking, just using metro or other public transportation and so on. With all this routine, you don't understand pretty much correctly what are you doing, why are you doing this, and so on. And from my own experience and from the experience of my friends and some co-workers and colleagues, they also understand what are they doing, how do they split time, what is the work-life balance, how do we handle and how do we manage all the stuff around it. It's really important from my point of view, and I do really think that this new trend for remote work is motivating us for asking ourselves some questions. Why I'm doing it? Why I'm eating this? Why I'm doing sport right now? And so on. For me, it was a greatest adventure to understand my schedule and to change the understanding of self-awareness.
Okay.
And the main topic and the main beneficiaries that has from the pandemic era, I guess, pets. Because all our pets are happy now. We can spend a lot more time with them. Say hi to my little Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven. So he is surrounded by so many cats.
Do they get along well?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do, and actually sometimes rain comes cats and dogs.
What about yourself? Do you think you will have more dogs, more cats in future?
Perhaps I'm thinking about a papagay, because it will be very interesting and funny when the papagay says to the Steven, stand up, or Steven, sit down, and he will be like managed by my papagay, and I will not have to do it myself.
Okay, so you're dreaming of a parrot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions to Zoya?
Probably no. Good luck with your future parrot.
And we wish you to have a lot of work so that you will be able to feed all these pets.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Zoya. We are back to our studio. Let's take a look at our chat. So no one guessed the right weather forecast in this episode where our hero is rushing to his work. Okay, but I see that Mr. MiG18918989 was very active. I guess we will award this guy or girl, I don't know who is this, for you, the license. I think it's yours. You have earned it. So, for those of you who have joined, may I remind you that today in our studio we are discussing the future of work, how it will affect our life, how we will be able to work and coexist in this future. Today myself, Sergey, and our marvelous Sophia, the influencer, we are inviting various people from various ends of our globe to this conversation. And my third question to those of you, the viewers of our live stream, is here it is. How many hours our hero have been working flexibly? Now I've announced the question. I will be waiting for four right answers, and we have another special guest.
Yeah, and our next stop will be in Germany, Bavaria, city Ingolstadt, famous of Audi. And please welcome Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hello from Ingolstadt. Yeah, I'm Michael. I'm working for Kaspersky in Ingolstadt, and yeah, some weeks ago, a friend asked me how I think about the future of work. It doesn't take me a lot of time to give an answer because from my point of view, the future of work has already done exactly go. Last year, at the beginning of March, me and Eugene Kaspersky joined an event in Berlin. It was a 5G campus opening from a telecommunication company. And during this event, many startups presented their vision of 5G and how it helps companies and customers to get the best out of it. It was very impressive to see the possibilities of this technology and to see the spirit of the entrepreneurs. At this event, Eugene was talking about this important step of 5G development, but he also mentioned that it's important to think about security because everything will be more connected, for this, the Internet of Things or artificial intelligence are only two buzzwords for this. And for this, this was it was a very interesting event, but it was also the last business trip for me because especially 1 week later, we had the first lockdown in Germany. As a social media manager, it wasn't a big deal for me to work from home because all I need is an internet connection and VPN. And so I could work from everywhere and I'm completely independent. But for other jobs, it was a little bit different. First, because companies thought that their employees are not as productive as they are working from the office, or they had complaints about data security or privacy issues. But more and more their thoughts changed because the employees deal with this situation very well. They saved a lot of time for traveling to the office, and they could spend more time with their families. And also they saved a lot of money for the companies by using, for example, video calls and not to travel all around the world. And right now people are dealing with this situation very well, and they don't want to step back after the pandemic regarding the new working model. And some researchers in Germany show if they are looking for a new job, for example, their focus has completely moved. Sure, salary is a very important decision maker, but the work-life balance is getting more and more important for Germans. And a lot of things happened since last year regarding digital transformation. And there are more discussions about digital opportunities, like adding home office to the contracts or skipping the 9 till 5 model, or thinking about a 4 days working week instead of 5 days. For me, flexibility is the key, and to be open for innovations. And if we add too many regulations to all the inventions, it will kill the innovations. And this is for me my learnings during the last year and the future of work.
Okay, Michael, you have a very interesting background. How is it related to the future?
Yeah, it's part of our Earth 2050 project, which we have for Kaspersky. You could check the website afterwards. It's earth2050.com. And for this, you could find many innovations and many thoughts about famous people. Also, Eugene was adding his vision about it. And for this, we look some years into the future, and it's very interesting. And you should definitely have a look on it.
Okay. Do you have any questions to Michael?
Yeah, and I think you prefer to work from home more than from office, so new reality is better for you, isn't it?
I like both. I like to work from the office because to meet the colleagues and maybe to have more small talk or discussing topics in person. But I also like to have the option to work from home. So it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. What about your colleagues from the automotive industry? Did you have an opportunity to talk to people from Audi, which are located nearby?
Yeah.
So what do they say?
My neighbor is working for Audi, and so it's a little bit different compared to my job. He's a manufacturer, and so nothing has changed. Sure, they worked for some weeks. They didn't work, and so the factory was closed. And but for them, nothing has changed during the last year. And but for the people who are working at the office, it's the same situation like we have for Kaspersky, for example.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. And we're switching back to our YouTube channel. I can actually see that there is the first person who visited our landing page and paid attention. It's Zoe Tan. She is right. It's 924 days. But we have another person to call.
Yeah, it's time to go to Paris. So please welcome Amin from the city of Eiffel Tower. Hi, Amin.
Hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing great today. It's pretty sunny in Paris, so everything is going good. I'm very glad to be here with you guys today to talk about the future of work. As it was mentioned before, COVID-19 crisis has accelerated many things in terms of digitalization of work. Right now in France, we are discussing a lot about all these massive changes. We have seen that many companies needed to adapt pretty fast and started to implement many collaborative tools such as Slack or Teams to reinforce connection between employees. One interesting thing about this is that most questions that people are sharing online in France about this new tool, are related to the use of the camera. You have, of course, all that questions, the bunch of questions about the technical aspects, how I can create the perfect setup, how to activate it, etc. And you also have other questions that are maybe a bit more sociological and a bit more deeper, because this massive new use of video and video to connect with people is also bringing, its own new rules, new codes for social interactions in a professional context. We have seen a lot of very practical questions, for example, about this new way of communicating with colleagues. For example, some people are wondering how acceptable it is to keep the camera off if the other person has activated its own camera. They are wondering how it is about to be perceived. Is this rude or it is not? You have also many questions about the dress code. For all the people who like to work naked, sorry guys, I'm not about to talk about you. But for the others, they are really wondering how they can manage to stay relaxed because they are working from home, and how they can at the same way keep this kind of professional appearance. We have also seen many questions coming from women about makeups. How can I choose the perfect makeups that will go through video and visio? So many questions. You have also many people questioning about the choice of the background. Is it acceptable to share your real background, even if it's a bit messy, or maybe it is better like to choose a kind of customized one, a fake one, just to preserve a certain level of privacy. So we are really facing like a new shift, a new way of like relationship between colleagues at thanks to the video. So just to conclude maybe a bit about this, what video is doing right now and Visio is really about like changing the way that we are presenting ourselves to others in a professional context. It's a totally different approach with brand new codes, and I think that we all need to manage to adapt. But I'm a big enthusiast person, so I'm pretty sure that we all about like to perfectly adapt to appropriate these new codes, and we all be pretty comfortable with this.
I think you should ask a few questions about makeup and this stuff.
Yes. My favorite makeup filter at calls is potato filter. And what is... Have you heard about that potato filter then at Snapchat that can turn you to the potato, speaking potato?
I think I've seen it, yeah.
Yes, and what is your favorite one?
Mine is the classic, like the classic dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gold.
What about yourself? Do you miss the opportunity to walk around Paris? I can see, looking at your background, that you are situated not so far from the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly. I try to stay as close as I can to the Eiffel Tower. So personally, you know, any movement that manage to empower people in terms of time management is something good, because this is the kind of very limited resources that have like a huge impact on our well-being. So this shift that we are all about to address like steadily to more flexibility in work and more control on time, to me is a good thing for everyone. But again, it's a question of balance for everyone and efficiency. We have now the possibility to build a kind of a perfect like work ecosystem that will suit to us in terms of like efficiency at work, and also, I mean, at a personal level.
Okay.
But honestly, I like to work from home.
Well, good luck to you in future.
Thanks.
And we're back to our studio. Okay. Let me remind you, everyone who is watching our live stream, that today in our studio, myself, Staff Geek of Kaspersky, and Sophia the Influencer, we are discussing the future of work, how it's going to impact our life, how our life is going to change in the post-pandemic future. Maybe distant, maybe not so distant, we don't know yet, but we can plan for it. And for that, you, the viewers of our channel, you have the unique opportunity to win a 1-year license for Masterclass to build a better version of yourself. The rules are very simple. My fourth question to the audience will be, what time did our hero day start? We will be waiting for 4 right answers in chat, and while we are waiting, we have another guest to connect.
Yeah, we're switching to the country of paella, city Valencia, and please welcome Alberto.
Hello. Hello everyone. Hola, hola.
Hola Alberto. How are you?
I'm fine. It's sunny again here in Valencia. So yeah, we have the last week the weather was really bad, so life smiles again.
It's really hard to get your weather from your background.
Yeah.
It's tasty, you know.
It's tasty,
The weather is always good when you have paella.
Yeah, and it reminds me that I'm starving right now. Also.
Well, say a few words about the future of work from your point of view.
Well, I ran a contest in our social media channels in Spain here to get some feedback from end users and our community. So we asked them what are their views and feelings about the future of work and how remote work can affect Spain as a country. And I have to say that people took it more as a platform to ask their companies to keep the work from home policy. So they complain a lot about they want to keep working from home, but there are also mixed feelings about it. So on one hand, people would love to keep enjoying the little pleasures from working at home. It's funny because we launched a survey a few months ago during the strict lockdown here in Spain while everybody was working at home, and we asked them what will they miss if they have to come back to the office and return to normal life. And 40% of the respondents said that they will definitely miss having a siesta. You know what a siesta is? It's a small nap after having lunch, which I thought it was kind of a Spanish stereotype, but I guess the respondents didn't have kids around, so it's funny. And on the other hand, we are social animals, and it's true that we miss a lot the human contact and the chit chats around the coffee machine to talk about the last football match or TV show or whatever. But yeah, the most common answer will definitely be flexibility. They are eager to have more flexibility and being able to work from home or from wherever they are. And regarding Spain as a country, there were a couple of debates about how can we take advantage of this new trend of remote work. Firstly, with many big tech companies implementing the policy of working from wherever they are, this could be a great opportunity to position Spain as a hub for remote workers to boost our economy. As we have a good quality of life, a lot of sunny days, pretty decent cost of life. So many cities are already trying to attract remote workers. But still, there is a lot of work to do in terms of regulation and taxes for them, to come and live here. But right now, we are seeing the opposite movement, because we have lately in the news that many YouTubers, some of them pretty famous, they are moving to Andorra, which is a very close country, and the taxes are very, very low there. So let's see what happens. And secondly, remote work is seen as an opportunity also to repopulate the village of many parts of Spain. We call it here La España vaciada, which means the empty Spain, with lots of people in the last 20 or 30 years moving to the big cities like Madrid or Barcelona to find a job and better opportunities. Many villages have suffered the impact, and they are almost deserted and with very old population. So the new scenario of remote work opened the door to revert this movement. It's something that we have seen it during the pandemic time, with more people moving to village thanks to remote work and due to different reasons, like a cheaper rent or bigger home space, or to be more in contact with nature. But still, there are many obstacles there, so maybe we can talk in a few years and see how it goes. And yeah, that would be all from Spain, guys.
I really like the idea of repopulating the rural areas because of this remote situation. You said about kids that they interrupt with your siesta. Is that your thing? Do you have little kids that interrupt your own siesta?
Yeah. I don't remember when I had the last siesta. Yeah, I have a little kid, 3 years old. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to have a siesta with a kid around.
Yeah, and now I'm too hungry looking at this paella, so...
Yeah, me
Sophia
too.
Thank you.
Looking forward to have one.
Okay, let's switch to our chat for a second. I can see some answers. I will give you some more intrigue. I will not be saying who is right and who is wrong. I will give you some more time to answer. May I remind everyone that you see the link to our landing page, and we are awarding the free 1-year masterclass licenses for those people who answer right the questions which are related to our landing page. You will find the link in the description, in chat, so stay with ours while we have another person.
We have now a person from the country of pasta and pizza. Please welcome Daniela.
Hi Daniela, you're live.
Hi guys, hi, welcome to Milano. Today is pretty sunny and so it's like a normal Italian day. Today I ate also pizza and drink an espresso, so I'm a typical stereotype of Italian today and representing here for you. Oh, wow. It's not espresso, it's not the right one, sorry. So following all what my colleagues said related to the last year and about COVID situation that really impact our lives. So for my personal point of view, I have a new colleague in my perspective, that it's my new colleague, it's my husband, that I don't even understand now if it's pros and cons. I just to understand, because some days the pros, some other no. But by the way, it's really good also in terms of cultivate new hobbies. For example, we bought a driving simulator, and it's behind my neck here, but it's from my husband. And so between one meeting and another, he plays there. It's very funny.
Why doesn't he drive?
What? Sorry.
Why isn't he driving now?
Hi, is because I said to him, hey, go away, because I have to do this stuff, so you can't stay here. But normally I see him behind me during a pause and another one. It's very funny. So by the way, the last year really impacted also all our lives, and but thinking about nice things, so thinking about what is the future of work. So I had several conversations also with my friends and my colleagues here in Italy, and despite all the situation, one of the things that really emerged from those discussions is the awareness and the importance of social and environment issues, so in companies where they work. So I feel that they say that they cares if the work for the ones they work for cares about the planet and the environment. So starting from that, I wanted to check also if also companies have the same feelings, and not only the employees. So I found out an interesting study that was made by Chances Cooperative in 2020. And basically they said that within the next 4 years, the companies will require 1.6 million of people with green skills and environment sustainability skills. That is quite impressive thinking about the future, because the number is really big. So this research shows how much the company cares themselves about this topic for the future. And thinking about companies in general, one of the things is related to industries, because industries are among all the companies the ones that can have a big impact in terms of also of environment and planet. And regarding that, I also found out another interesting research made by Kaspersky itself in 2020. So they basically said that 100% of the European industrial organization believe that a sustainable development strategy can improve their level of cybersecurity as well. So that means that the level of cybersecurity and cyber protection can have a direct impact also on the employee safety, on the sensitive customer data, on partner relationship, people, and environment security as well. So this is very interesting also thinking about the European part, because the 40% of organizations have already put in place additional measure to reduce this damage in case of an event of accidents. So this is quite interesting. And another fun fact I found out about industries in general is related to coffee. You know how much Italians love coffee, and so it was quite nice for me to find out this interview that has been made by Andrea Illy, that is the president of Illy Coffee, that is a very well-known brand in Italy. And they started to talk about carbon-free coffee in the future. So they are basically experimenting 2 coffee plantations that aim to become carbon neutral in the future. That is quite interesting. So I think that in general, what I understood and I'm feeling is that both industries, companies, but also us as employees or people that simply live in the planet, looking forward for a future much more sustainable and green. So every one of us, but not only the industries and company, but even us as little people. I think that everyone can do and play a role here. So, for example, one of the things that we can do is try to decrease the consumption of plastic in office or also at home, choose recyclable materials and use a more ecological approach. So, for example, if you are so far away from the office, maybe preferring not to go by car, but decided to go by foot or cycle because it's healthier and also it can benefit also your healthy. So I think that even if it's little things, if everyone does something, I think that this can really impact in the future in the best ways.
Thank you, Daniela, and I see you're a really strong Italian woman. Girl power with you.
Thank you, guys.
Daniela, so do you personally believe that our future will be green and carbon neutral?
Oh, I hope so. I don't know if the change will be immediately, but I think that the awareness is really, really increasing. So if everyone does something, if we are able to promote this with our families, with our friends, and inside the office where we work, I think we can make a difference. We cannot wait that someone does something for us. We just need to take us as example, and maybe something will happen. But I'm looking forward for that.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was very, very insightful and inspiring. We're switching back to our studio. Okay. I can see that we have 3 right answers. Mr. Justin West, Mr. Amin Bou, and Sevgi Demir. They all get their prize. Congratulations. Now, before I frame our next question and before we plunge into our next section, I think I'd like to interrupt Sophia and ask what does she personally think about carbon-free coffee? There is a question in chat about that.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because it's really a thing that we rarely think about it, and after that live event I will go to my computer and read more about it, because I've never thought about carbon-free coffee before. What about you?
Well, I think it's something which is unreachable in like the nearest future, but in some distant future, why not? Well, our planet actually was able to absorb more carbon than produce for like millennia. And I think I believe in humankind that we can come up with technologies to tap into these kind of things. So I think it's time to invite our next guest into this.
Yeah, we're teleporting to the island of the Queen. Please welcome David from the United Kingdom.
Good.
Hi Dave, you're live.
Hello everybody. Privyet. Hello from England. I've got no coffee jokes I can say. No exciting things about coffee. We drink a lot of tea over here in the UK.
What about tea?
But yeah, anyway, sorry, going off subject there. So talking about the future of work here in the UK, I feel like a lot of people have already kind of covered what I was going to say anyway. A lot of discussion around working from home, big push around after the pandemic has sort of eased. There's going to be a lot of discussion around if people want to actually return to the office. I think for the most part here in the UK, I think there's a big office culture. People like to be in the office, especially in larger cities like Liverpool, Leeds, London, so on and so forth. So I can't imagine like there's going to be a huge decrease in office work. People are still going to want to do that, but something interesting. I think Michael picked up on it. There's been a talk around a 4-day working week. That's something that has been sort of banded around here. And I think in New Zealand they've trialed it. And my previous company that I work for has already trialed a 4-day working week. So that's quite interesting. Looking further afield, the moment here in the UK, there's a big push around, everywhere I suppose, there's a big push around green energy, green jobs. I think the UK is one of the fastest decarboning countries, decarboning a word, I'm not sure, decarboning countries in the world, something like 40 to 50% reduction in carbon emissions over the last 5 years. And that's thanks in part, mainly in part to like wind, solar, things like that. So there's going to be a big push for those sorts of high-skilled, high-paid jobs. I can see a day, maybe the next 50 years, where low-skilled jobs like delivery jobs, working in fast food restaurants, or like a thing of the past. They're already trialing drones in some large cities. City I live not far away from, Milton Keynes, they already use drones to deliver, not drones like these little robot wheeled things. You can pay a little bit of money and they'll deliver your food for like £1 or something. So I can see, in my lifetime at least, those sorts of things becoming a reality. Going back to working from home, I work for Kaspersky, and I'm privileged enough to be able to work from home pretty much full time. You seem to have froze, Sergey.
Technical difficulty. We will continue with David in a few seconds.
Okay.
It's live stream. Things happen. Don't worry. We'll get back our connection with David. Yes, David, we can see you, but our viewers cannot see you yet. We'll get you back online in a few minutes. Don't worry about that. For the moment, we would like to get back to our landing page, and I think we were on our second screen trying to explore the possibilities after we wake up. So here, as you can see, this is where we had our 924 days working remotely. This is the date, the day and time when you can see our hero has started. Let's try, for example, your favorite option, workout.
All right, let's do this. Vi, can you switch on my yoga class?
Sure thing.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me for Sunrise Chakras. Haven't seen some of you in a while, but that's okay. That's okay. So let's start by getting into our soaring eagle pose and embracing our divine goddess power.
There's no sound in the video.
That's it. Reach for the clouds.
Taking care of yourself is key to working at your best, and the likely decrease in time spent commuting should give you an extra few minutes in the morning to look after number one.
Great job. Well done, everyone. I can see your aura shining from here. Catch you tomorrow, my fearless beacons.
Well, I need to do that more often, or never again.
Oh wow. Last night was rough, huh? Never mind. That's what I'm here for. There we go. Much more human, I think. How could I save you from a wardrobe malfunction today?
You have 2 important meetings today, a full team planning session, and a priority playtime scheduled with your dog. What will you wear?
Okay, back to studio. Hi everyone again. So here, this is the scene where we were able to select which outfit to wear. And this is where you could see for yourself that 11% of people selected the nude version. Out of these 5 variants, what one would you prefer, Sophia?
I prefer something not nude.
Well, okay, we already established that, trying to wear a fancy dress, a kimono, whatever.
Fancy dress is...
Okay, let's try a fancy dress.
Well, it's honestly not as bad as some of your other purchases, but perhaps a bit on the bold side.
So no fancy dress, I guess. What about other options besides fancy dress? Imagine that you have a bunch of meetings, like a meeting with a client, a prospect, a colleague. What to wear?
Okay, I will wear kimono and
Kimono.
order sushi.
Okay, let's try kimono.
Interesting.
So no kimono. Other options, please.
Okay, let's try casual.
Let's try casual.
You're in good company. Most people want to mix and match their attire depending on what the day brings.
Hi everyone, good news! The client likes our proposal so much that they want to see the fully fleshed out plan in an hour. So, we're bringing the meeting forwards, and I need you all to be completely up to date on the fine details and ready to present. Fun. See you soon. Okay, bye.
Oh dear. I've not read any of that paperwork.
I'm afraid it's heavy rain for the next hour.
Okay,
How would you like to join the
this
meeting?
is where we could select an option. Either we go using the public transport to the conference call. So this is where we were asking about the weather, and the weather was rainy. Now let's try, for example, to select the try to get to the office option.
Excuse me! Oh no. Okay, can't take the train. Sorry! Watch out! Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. No! Okay, this will have to do. Right. Let's get the hotspot working. No.
You're a great team player and like to make people happy. But your future is about what's best for you, too. You have all the devices you need to communicate with your colleagues securely from wherever works for you.
And we're back in our studio. So we're almost through our challenge, and I think we are in our office where we are presented with an option of either go into the garden time. Are we, Anatoly? No? No, in the landing page, not yet. But we're almost ready to connect David again. Yes. So
Well,
here we
thank you
made
all
it to
for
the
joining
conference
today.
call.
To review the draft, but if not, we're going to go through it all now. So let's start at the top.
That's right. You own how you work, and you can work from anywhere. And if you get more done from home, everyone's a winner.
Good work, everyone. Speak to you all later. Okay, bye.
Phew. Maybe some garden time.
We've been hacked. We need to act fast to protect our data. I require immediate access to your laptop to check whether it's been sabotaged too.
Okay, this is a very interesting, well, you should expect some security-related situation. It's Kaspersky, right? So here is something where user operated with a rather simple option, which, of course, is to choose to reject a suspicious call.
I don't think so. Bye-bye.
Your business is in good hands. Fraudsters may be upping their game, but they don't stand a chance against your cybersecurity defense.
Not today.
Yeah, those calls were weird. I'm so glad I hit reject. Anyway, yeah, so the client meeting this afternoon is postponed until next week. Let's reschedule on Monday, okay?
Sure. Speak to you then.
So that's a 2-hour slot in your schedule now open. How do you want to use this free time?
I think we can plug in David for a second so that David can finish his line. David, please switch on your camera. David, can you hear us? I think you are muted in our Teams call.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello, David.
Hello.
So you will be live in a few seconds.
Okay.
You're live, Dave.
Hello. Hello again. Take 2.
So please continue your words.
Yes, okay. So where did I get to? So I think for the most part I've gone through most of it. I think the only thing would be that I think it maybe got cut was talking about low-skilled jobs. So at the moment there's a big push for green technology over here in the UK, specifically jobs looking at wind power, solar, things like that. And I can see a time in the future where low-skilled jobs like delivery and things like that are fully automated. There's already quite a large push around jobs for automation in delivery. I think Amazon are doing drone deliveries. I think they're trialing drone deliveries in London. They're over in Milton Keynes, not far from where I live. There's a company that already you can order takeaways, like food takeaways, and they'll put it in like a little robot car, and it's only a little small thing, and they'll deliver your food to you for just a couple of pounds. So in the future I can see low skilled jobs like that becoming a thing of the past, and high paid, high skilled jobs will be what the government is kind of pushing towards. So that's something that we can probably see in the future. Also, I think I mentioned it before, and wasn't sure where I was cut out. There's a big discussion at the moment around a 4-day working week. I don't know if it will ever happen. It'd be great if it did, but I can't see it happening, at least in my lifetime. So. But countries like New Zealand, I think, have already trialled it with success. So I can probably see something like that happening in the, maybe 30, 40 years in the future. Maybe. I don't know. But I think that's it from me. I think most of the other things I already covered. I think the only other thing really is over in the UK, we've got the troubles of Brexit and all the other things to sort of like pull together. So it's not just a case of like looking into the future for these positive things. We've also got to wade through Brexit, which will be an interesting next 10 years, I think.
Thank you, David. Thank you. And what is your favorite thing in this future predictions?
4-day working week. Now, I think for me, I work already. I'm pretty, I suppose, privileged in the sense that I already work for a company that allows me to work from home full time, Kaspersky. But I think a lot of people all are looking forward to that working from home, and especially like those people who still like working in the office. And I think it was Michael who said that there's a balance to be had between being in the office and working from home. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to that because maybe they can work from home on a Friday, so there's not having to stress about the commute. A lot of cities in the UK commute on the week coming up to the weekend can be pretty horrendous, especially around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. So if people can have that flexibility, I think that's something that a lot of people look forward to.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much. And now we're...
Okay, I think since we still have time and while we are reconnecting to our full capability, but we still have time to give away a few more masterclass licenses. And my fifth question for today is, when did our hero officially call it a day? I mean, when did his working day end? And if you pay attention, there might be two different variants depending on which choice you made on a previous screen, which we almost came to when we were reviewing our landing page. And now, while you are giving your answers, it's time to go to another continent.
Yeah, we will have transatlantic flight now, so we are switching to the country of Carnival. So welcome, Renato.
Olá, bom dia. Hello, guys. Hello from Mascot Midori. It's Alphys Matrix as well. And here we are.
Please show us Midori again. We missed that part. Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Fully covered.
He's complying with all healthy rules.
At least you are using your
protection.
protection.
Renato, can you see
Yeah,
a little
safe
bit?
it's mask,
Yeah. So, Renato, you are too close to the camera. Can you see a little bit? Yeah, nice, better. So, your question?
So what do you think about the future of work, Mr. Renato?
Yes, as many people already said here, I think we have several changes in the way people work. But I think this pandemic will have huge impacts over the cities. Because cities will change in over the next decades, probably. Lots of people will move into suburbs. Home working will expand. So people want bigger homes, less space for office inside cities. Some cities will have more parks or residents over there instead of so much office. And that will probably reflect on the future of cities in terms of less traffic jams, less costs on public transportation for cities. More people will walk, probably occupying public spaces. So in a sense, that could be beneficial for most big cities like São Paulo, like many cities over Latin America. And as David said, probably most deliveries will be made by drones. In another sense, that will be very beneficial for e-commerce, for delivery of goods. But on the other hand, that will have a huge impact on low-paid jobs that may become social issues in countries like Brazil, and in countries, all poor countries over Latin America, over Asia, over Africa. So that will be probably a problem in the near future. Well, talking about virtual collaboration tools will get traction. New forms of work in teams will have to emerge. We are still not sure how that will impact on productive over the years. Initial researches in lots of countries shows people are happier working at home, as our other colleagues here said. Efficiency has got better in much companies, so people they feel better when they work at home. But on the other hand, lots of insights come only from personal conversations, as Albert said, on the small talks over the coffee, over the cigar. Thankfully, not so many people are smoking right now, but people are still having coffee at the office and talking and making some chats. And lots of ideas and small agreements come from that 5-10 minutes together. And you sort of lose them when you just talk via online tools. So that's another question for companies. So I've made this research on Kaspersky Brazil, LinkedIn, and what I've noticed is that most people, they prefer like a mixed model, which I see most probably on the future, with people balancing days at home with days at the office. On the sense, balancing work-life times will be a challenge because of this. Smartphones now allows to work pretty much 24 hours and pretty much everywhere. On the other side, it permits fast answers and give us flexibility to manage our time. But on the other, it makes normal we are available 24 hours per day. It is so much common, especially when you work in big companies like Kaspersky, that you have people working all time, different time zones. So you receive messages at midnight, in the middle of the dawn, in the beginning of the morning. So, and it makes like feel normal to answer that as fast as you can. So in many countries, jobs are shrinking and people feel pressure to work more and more. And I'm sure there's an upcoming issue for companies to determine when you have time for yourself, when you are actively working on, you have to be online. For us, cybersecurity will become a more challenging issue over the next years because more and more people are using personal devices for working. Most works are used to don't think at all of cybersecurity because it's provided by companies in the office, but that's not true anymore when you move home. So this kind of education will be more and more essential over the next years. People will have to be more aware on how to protect their devices, not to be victims of ransomware. And the good part, we have lots of content over this on our blog. So we are in a position we can provide people with more information on how to protect themselves at work, and that surely will be a very, very important issue over the next years. In the end, I see privacy issues. Governments may require to know where you have been for medical reasons in case of another pandemic. We are seeing that in China, where people can scan the area, and then the people is informed if she has been on a red danger zone or not. And so like those people who like to think in terms of big brother in the near future maybe be right, because we have more and more observation on us. And most governments, and it's very likely, may make obligatory to have a shot passport to travel abroad. So you can't reach another countries. You can't even leave your country if you don't have a shot vaccine. So in terms of personal privacy, that may become an issue over the next years. So those are my main thoughts on the future of work.
Thank you, Renata. And what do you think about the future of Carnival? No, Carnival only.
Yeah, that's a very really problem, because over the last 2 years here in Brazil, we almost have no carnival, especially this year, and people get really sad and really kind of angry because of this. So most people project that when we finally get freedom to make carnival next year, that's going to be huge.
Massive carnival.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, people just like to travel abroad. They like to go to the streets. Few people stay at home, and that's a huge impact for all the tourism industry in Brazil as well.
I see. So, Sergey.
I think it's time for us to travel to United States of America.
Yeah, it's time for the city of the seafood and Boston Tea Party. Please welcome Zoe.
Все, мы обратно. Hi, Zoe.
Are you guys? Can you guys hear me?
You're live now.
Okay, cool.
Zoe, your background looks not like Boston.
No, it's not Boston, but this is where I want to be in the future, when we can all travel internationally again in this beautiful place called Greece. So blue, so sunny, so nice. Big change from Boston, which is very, very cold. Yeah, just like Moscow, I believe.
Yeah, we have quite often the same weather.
Yeah.
So say a few words about the future of work. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so the future of work, I think in terms of like, from what I've been observing in like American culture, I feel like at least in the near future, a lot of people still want like that flexibility of like going into an office or like some sort of like co-working space if they want, versus having to work from home. if they need to, because some people, like in their homes, like they don't have like a proper place for them to work, and therefore it can be hard for them to concentrate, versus some other people, like maybe it's kind of inconvenient for them to go to the office that certain days, say like if they have kids, and they got to pick their kids up from school, or say maybe they even have pets and they can't find someone to watch their pets, sometimes it's more convenient to stay at home. So I feel like the future of work is giving people that flexibility to choose, like if they want to work from the office or work from home. And funnily enough, in the past year, a lot of Americans have moved out from the big cities because they're like, oh, we're all stuck at home with like the whole family. And like we all just need more space. Like kids need more space, or your significant others need more space because everyone's like working in the same room. And so a lot of people moved out from the big cities into smaller cities, less populated areas, or smaller towns. And I read this article where a lot of these people are regretting their decisions of buying like a big house in a small town, because they're like, oh my God, we hate it here. Like this is not the lifestyle that we want, or like we just bought a really they were just really unhappy with their house purchase because the housing market here was so competitive in terms of people who were buying. So yeah, a lot of these people like spend $800,000 on like really nice homes and have regretted it. So yeah, that's just an interesting observation I wanted to share.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. And what do you think will be the future of the place you live? Will you relocate to the Greece islands?
Oh, that would be awesome. For me, I feel like I would like that kind of like 50-50 mix where it's like occasionally I come into the office because, like Michael had mentioned earlier, like that in-person interaction with like your coworkers are like really nice sometimes. And, you really get to build a bond with like the people you're working with, or just the people in the same company. But I also, like to take road trips, or, take spontaneous trips here and there. So it would be awesome if you can just be like, randomly working in Greece at the same time. So yeah.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. So, Sergey, what is next? Our last destination or something else?
I wanted just to add, to remind to our viewers that you still have the opportunity to say when is the day over for our hero in the interactive adventure. You have seen the link in chat, in the overlay module for the Teams conversation we just had with Zoe. Please be active. And now our final destination for today.
Yeah, our final destination for today is the land of coffee and Shakira. Please welcome Hernan from Colombia.
Hello guys. Nice to see you.
Hi Hernan, you're live.
Hi Hernan, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm pretty good. How you doing? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, I'm fine.
Great.
And I really like your background.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's like a Minecraft representation of my country. So I just wanted you to take a look of it.
Where's Shakira?
Yeah, so where's Shakira? I don't know. She's somewhere over there dancing and moving her hips. She's like back on a tree or something. But yeah, she's over there. Yeah, so I just wanted to share my view over here about the future of work and what's going on in Latin America. But I think before talking about the future, I think we have to talk a little bit about the present, because I think also the present, like we see changes already now. And in Latam, it's a very particular region because over here we're very family oriented, and I think a lot of people here live with their family, even if they're adults, or even if they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever it is. So a lot of people live with their parents, with their siblings, with their cousins or whatever it is. I'm sure in some regions it is like that as well, but in some others it's different. And I think right now that everybody's working from home, that has like a little effect, because over here, usually families or people just buy their cheapest internet plan for their home. and right now all of them are sharing the same connection at the same time because all of them are working or studying at the same time. So it has become like a problem in every household to share internet, because right now the bandwidth goes down because everybody's using it at the same time and they have internet problems. I asked a few people from Kaspersky, from our team, and also some friends about it, and they said like basically it's like when you were a kid and you were, I don't know, fighting with your siblings about the remote of the TV because one wanted to see one show and the other wanted to see another one. Something is similarly happening here with the bandwidth. People are fighting because, well, quote unquote, fighting because of the bandwidth connection. Some people are, having video calls while others are streaming videos on Netflix or whatever it is. So this has become a problem over here in Latam. So I think right now internet companies are becoming the winners because everybody is upgrading their own internet plan and paying more so they can, use internet at home and work in a better environment and with no internet connections. And actually, over here we launched a study in Latam where we asked employees of small companies and medium companies, what they wanted to ask their companies for in this work from home environment, and many of them said 49% that work in mid companies and 43% that work in small companies said that they would like their companies to pay for their internet services because right now they are paying way more than they used to before. They want more help from their company. They want them to back them up. They want more protection from them because a lot of them haven't had any training on how to work from home, how to protect the internet, the company information on their company system while they work from home, while they're using their own connection. So I think that's something very interesting, when it comes to bandwidth and how people are sharing their own spaces digitally and physically, that's already affecting everything. And in the future, I think companies, are going to move to a more digital space. We are already seeing companies that are leaving their offices or the places that they used to have, that they used to rent. And right now they are, leaving them, or they are selling them because they have found that their employees can work from home and it's probably cheaper for them. So probably in the future we're going to see more of that in Latam. I think that's where we're going. So yeah, those are my thoughts over here.
So you said that your background picture is like a small version of Colombia. Can you say a few words what each figure represents?
What each figure represents? Oh God, that is a difficult one. Well, obviously this is a very green country in the sense like we have a lot of nature. This is the second country with most biodiversity in the world, so I guess you can see that in this picture because it's very green. But also you see like people from different with different styles, with different hair color or whatever it is. So we have a lot of diversity here as well when it comes to race and people and how we are. And basically it's just a fun background, I guess, that where people are having fun and just chilling outside, and that's how we are. We just like to chill. So there you go.
Thank you, Renan. It was very interesting.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you soon.
Okay, now back to our studio. I can see that we have quite a few people left. It was a lengthy marathon, and as usual with live stream we did have some technical difficulties. Well, it happens. In future, just like in the past, I think we will have these difficulties. Unfortunately, there are no people who have answered the last question, so I guess we are concluding our live stream. Everybody who has mentioned, please send us an email at video@kaspersky.com. We will send you your license information, how to activate it, and make a better version of yourself. What is your impression about what happened in this studio today?
Oh, I really like what happened in the studio because we had a chance to talk about future with people from different geographies and even time zones. Had no problem for us.
Is there anything that you were impressed the most?
Yeah, probably a carbon-free coffee. So I will definitely read about it more.
Carbon-free coffee was really a hit. Yeah, I agree. So I guess we conclude today's live stream. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, Sergey.
I would like to say thank you to our colleagues who have been connecting to us using the teleconferencing system. And stay safe in future and own it.